I started that and like day four.
Shelley, how did you find Carnivore?
That's actually a really good question. So, kind of spoiler alert, I actually, Carnivore found me through you. Yeah. So, the beginning of the story actually starts about 25 plus years ago. I was actually recovering from back surgery. I had a bulge disc, so walking was quite difficult. And so, sort of in that time, I had put on a few extra pounds. Um, and so I actually ended up finding Atkins first. And I did that. So with Atkins, of course, it's got this intro phase, and then you were adding things back. So I did that for a while, lost 20 pounds, and then I plateaued. And then, of course, in doing that, I fell into the trap of the Atkins shakes and the granola bars and the desserts and all of these things, thinking, oh, great, I can do all of these things and still be Atkins. And not even really sure how I completely fell off that wagon, but I did. And then, of course, I managed to rid myself of a husband and got back and was completely social. So I was out walking and dancing every weekend and managed to take all of the weight off and thought I was healthy. And I did that for a great number of years. And in that, I just ate whatever I wanted to. I have been battling my weight my whole life and doing all of the yo-yo diets. And I finally felt like I was in a good place. And didn't want to deprive myself of anything. So literally, I ate whatever I wanted to. So then, just in terms of getting older, I'm going to be 59 in 2 weeks. I started developing hot flashes. And also I had incessant heartburn. Like I can't even tell you how many Tums tablets and things like that. I couldn't leave the house without them. And there was no rhyme or reason for what would set it off. It was just a chronic issue. So I was battling with that. So that kind of took me until about the year 2020. And of course, we all know what happened then. And because I chose not to take that medical intervention, I actually left my corporate sales job. And so, of course, the world shut down. So there was no more weekend dancing. And little by little, depression set in, and I wasn't walking, I wasn't doing anything. I was fortunate enough to have an online business. So I sell clothing online. So I was able to just kind of keep things going with that, but it certainly didn't help my body any. And so I kept packing on the pounds and really didn't like myself much and was very lethargic and just, kind of going through a lot of issues that way. So, anyways, about early April, my fiance came across a video about the keto diet. He was actually looking in terms of inflammation because he suffers from arthritis, has since he was 20. And I just happened to be pop into the room while he was watching this video, and I was like, "Hey, I did Atkins way back when, and I felt wonderful." And just like it was like literally in that minute that I decided I'm going to go keto. And so I did that for about a month and a half, and felt great and managed to drop about 15 pounds. And then lo and behold, the good old YouTube algorithm brought you into my front room. And so the first video that I watched was Judy. It was a Judy Thornbull. The caption was 7 weeks. And so she was talking about a plethora of things, but what really hit me was the eyesight. And that's something that I have been concerned about for a long time. As I said, do an online business. So my screen time, and of course, I'm looking on my phone constantly. And I was wearing my reading glasses, and they became almost my 24/7. to the point where I couldn't leave the house without them. I couldn't read a menu. I couldn't, I just couldn't read any written words at all. So I was very, very concerned about that. So when she talked about the eyesight, I thought, you know what? I'm in it. I'm going to do this like right now. And so I started that. And like day four, I was able to read and respond to text messages on my phone. I haven't been able to do that in years. So super exciting. I still sometimes in low lighting situations have to really focus, and sometimes I will have to put on my readers. But I have to tell you, it's amazing. We were just out for dinner on the weekend, and I was able to read the menu without my glasses. So I was just absolutely gobsmacked. It was just wonderful. People have been commenting on my skin, saying I look lighter and brighter. My eyes are brighter. Um, my mood. I mean, I'm chipper. I was never a morning person by design. I always said if left to my own devices, I would be up late and get up late. And I was. I mean, prior to this, my wake time was about 8:30 in the morning. And I had to have several cups of coffee before anybody dared engage in conversation with me. So I'll have to tell you that it has been about 3 weeks where I'm hard pressed to stay in bed past 5:30. Yeah, I wake up and my fiance Brian says, "Where did you put Shelley?" Because I'm like chipper and talking and like, "Who are you?" So that's been super, super great. Heartburn's gone. All the things that I've heard other people talk about with the oral health, no plaque on the teeth, my gums don't bleed. I actually had something again for years and years that the dentist called furry tongue. And so I would have this buildup on my tongue, and it was embarrassing because, I spent more time brushing my tongue than I did my teeth. I'm always kind of worried about having bad breath and, that sort of thing. And that's like pretty much gone. So, I mean, just amazing changes in such a short time. This actually today marks the starting of my fifth week. And I just feel amazing. And it's been so easy. There's been no challenges. I don't feel deprived. It's just been so easy and so wonderful.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Not even 5 weeks in, and you've experienced all these improvements, especially within 4 days, you could read on your phone, as you said, you could send text messages. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, well, and that's what I thought. I was like, have I willed this? Like, what? This is just, but I was just mind blowing. And, I only suspect that things will get better and better over time. I'm just sort of in the baby stages of this. So I'm really, really excited about it.
So, how has your eating been? Are you doing 2 meals a day, 3 meals a day?
You know what? I listen to my body, and it really is when I'm hungry, I eat. So in most cases, it's actually been one meal a day. Um, so typically speaking, when I wake up, and sort of that's the other thing too. I have been drinking coffee since I was 7 years old, and I measured my coffee consumption by pots, not cups. And it would be nothing for me to drink 3 to 4 pots by myself of black coffee a day. And I was just known for that. That was just who I was. Now I'm drinking 2 cups. And a lot of times I will actually even water it down where it'll be a half a cup of coffee and a half a cup of hot water. And for the most part, it's to deliver some butter in the morning. And so when I get up in the morning, um, I'll have, my cup of coffee and I'll put some butter in it. And then I'll probably do that with the second one. And that just keeps me happy and satiated until usually about 4 o'clock. And that's when usually around 3, my tummy starts to say, okay, Shell, it's about time. And then usually about 4, I'll eat. And I'm just full, and I'm done till the next day. And like I said, it's not, there's no deprivation. There's no, I'm going to try and eat a little bit. It's just, I'm not hungry.
And that meal, is that like a steak or steak and
Yeah.
eggs or
Yeah. So either a steak, sometimes I have like a pork steak, regular steak, or ground beef and eggs. I do eat a lot of eggs. So, that will, a lot of times I'll have sort of a meat product and some eggs. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
nice. And has your fiance been convinced to go over to carnivore?
Not quite yet. He's really mesmerized by my progress. I think he'll get there. He's trying to be keto, but he's trying. So I think the proof will be in the pudding, as they say. And he's, like I said, he's been watching me, and he's absolutely been mesmerized. He's telling everybody, look at her, look at her face, talking about all the changes. So and I hope so, because I truly do believe that it's what he needs to help him with his inflammation, his arthritis. So
Yeah, I mean, so many people fix their arthritis or like just completely reverse the arthritis by going carnivore. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm hoping, actually, my eldest daughter, her and her husband have, I think they're on day 9. And so yeah, yeah. So I'm quite excited, because she does have some challenges with her mental health right now, some depression and anxiety. And so I'm really quite excited to see how that works for her. Because I've heard so many wonderful stories, and we've just been lied to so much about the food industry, and what we should be eating. And I truly do believe that this is the proper way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. So what about like other extended family and friends? Has anyone commented on what's this crazy thing you're doing?
Yeah. For the most part, they're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," but I would never be able to do that. And it's like, "Well, what about the vegetables? And what about this? And what about that?" And I think they're watching, kind of wondering whether or not this is, going to be a fad, or what's going on. But it's pretty tough for people. Again, we've just been, hammered on the head with, you need fiber, and you need, what about your vitamins and all of this kind of stuff, that I think it's sometimes a high hill to climb. So it's just a matter of them watching. And what's so great is, since I've been on this journey, I've just been consuming so many videos, listening to Dr. Barry and Sean Baker, and just kind of pulling in so much information, and I'm constantly learning. And so really trying to sort of take on board, so that I'm able to explain it a little bit better, to kind of put people at ease, and spike their curiosity. Because I just think, I mean, honestly, it's so easy to do. And with people suffering so many different health ailments, what is investing like 7 days, or 2 weeks, because once you do the 7 days, you're going to go farther, right? So it's like, even if you're going to invest that 90 days, I mean, for your health, why wouldn't you want to, when you're thinking about getting rid of pharmaceuticals, and not needing to take the vitamins, and all of the other things that we spend money on. Like, this is just so natural, and why wouldn't you?
So a lot of critics of carnivore would say, it's too restrictive. How would you answer that?
Yeah, yeah, and I kind of thought that myself in the beginning. It's like, oh my goodness, how am I going to eat sort of all of these same things all of the time? Um, but I don't find it restrictive at all. And the fact of the matter that is that you're so satiated that you fulfilled everything that you need to. So you're not really craving anything else. Yeah, and I mean, I certainly haven't tired of it. It's I don't even know how many days are in the time that I've been at this, and pretty much been eating some eggs every single day, and you'd think by this point it'd be like, oh, not another egg, but I enjoy them just like day one. And there's so many different ways. I've just been doing some experimenting with, cooking meat in the air fryer. You can do it on the stove in a skillet with butter or with bacon. You can do it on the barbecue. Like there's so many ways to kind of mix it up if you want something a little different. Yeah, I don't find it restrictive at all. And really, once you start to experience the health benefits, you just do it.
Yeah, I think, I mean, that's really the key thing for me as well. Once you experience so many health benefits so quickly, like it, even if it was a restrictive diet, even if you were eating only one particular thing all the time, let's say, even if you were limited to only eating ground beef for the rest of your life, who cares? If you don't have to have back pain, joint pain, bleeding gums, brain fog, mood swings, whatever it happens to be, all that's gone. I mean, now you're truly unrestricted.
Exactly, exactly. So I would have to say it's not restrictive at all because it sets you free. It really does. I Like I said, I'm over the moon. I'm so happy, I'm so chipper, and I really feel like, I want to stand on the rooftop and shout, this is like the magic thing. You just have to do this. And I know so many people that are suffering from so many ailments, and I'm like, I know how to fix you. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's getting that message out there. But I was absolutely pleased to see how many people are actually doing it. Ones that have just started and ones that have been doing it for years and years and years. So it's super nice to see all of that. In terms of carnivore, I mean, I had heard of it before, but with the likes of Jordan Peterson. But at the time, I just thought he had some pretty extreme health issues, and it was sort of an extreme a method of eating for that extreme condition. And then of course, you hear the bodybuilders and MMAs and all of those, and they're doing it, and you think, well, that's why they're doing it. So to be able to sort of apply it to just a regular person going through life, it's like poof.
So thinking about in terms of you're doing OMAD, you're not feeling like, "Oh, I've got to go and have a snack. I've got to go and eat now. I've got to go and eat now," all the time. Um, Over the last 5 weeks, what's that done for your productivity in your business?
Oh my goodness. Like I said, it's given me so much energy, but I'll have to tell you, because I'm in the fashion industry, I sell clothing, and I'm forever taking selfies of myself, because we're always having new items, right? So I'm always having to like post pictures of in this outfit and that outfit. And honestly, prior to the keto journey, as I said, I had been lethargic and had gained weight. I was trying to hide in my clothes. And, getting dressed in the morning was, oh, what am I going to wear that I don't feel gross in? And now I'm like, let's get dressed. What am I going to wear today? And so it's brought this whole sense of confidence and sense of pride back to me. It's kind of like I said, that 25 years ago when, I was out dancing and what have you. I was so happy to have a body that I wasn't ashamed of. Now I have that, but I also have my health as well. So it's a win-win.
Nice. So, how would you recommend other people get started with carnivore? Say a friend comes to you and says, "Okay, tomorrow is my day one. What do I need to do?" What would you tell them?
Absolutely. So, I would say to them, they could do one of two things. They could either kind of start slowly with more of a keto, just to try and eliminate some of those biggies, just to kind of get on track, or just jump right in. It is a little bit of a shock if you're just going to jump right in, but certainly, I would suggest they could do one or the other. And then I would just say, stick with it. Like, really give it the good college try. Commit to the first month and see how you feel. And journal everything, because there's so many like minute changes, that when you start to see and document how you're feeling and all of those things, those are the things that are just going to put pep in your step and keep you going. So, and consume as many videos from as many different sources as you possibly can, because I think, like myself, getting all of that information and listening to everybody's stories, and that's why I appreciate what you do so much, because you talk to people from all over the world, all ages, all conditions, and that those stories are genuine. And when you're listening to those, and you just you're so happy for them, you're so happy for yourself. So I think that is something that just keeps you focused and keeps you going. And so, yeah, just give it a good try. If you sort of fall off the wagon one time, don't beat yourself up. Just pick yourself back up and keep going. And like I said, just consume the information, because it's so empowering. And that's something that's just going to keep you going. And if you can as well, reach out to the community. I've actually reached out to a few of your guests. They've left their Instagram links. And they've just been so wonderful and so supportive. And I was so surprised, because, they answered me right away. So, I think that having that community and that support and that information is just, they're just the building blocks that help you just grow and grow and grow.
Yeah, nice advice. Um, so Shelley, if people want to reach out to you, do you have any social media or way to get in contact?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have Instagram. It is mostly business based, but certainly you can reach out to me personally there. So it is a She Lion 42.
Awesome. So I'll link to that below. Um, Thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your story, Shelley. I really appreciate your time.
Oh, you're so very welcome. It was absolutely my pleasure. And, anybody that wants to reach out, I'm more than happy to be their cheerleader. And I will continue to be watching your videos and cheering on all of your guests.